Yet here she is today, in front of perfect strangers, telling her story. Irene says once she came to terms with the impact HIV was having on her life, she realized she had things to say that might save someone else's life.
Nobody dies from talking, but people do die from unprotected sex.
These kids are actually pretty knowledgeable about safe sex and a lot of other issues related to AIDS. Brian Allen from Mary Meeting AIDS Support Services is a familiar face around the school, and he's brought along people with HIV and AIDS before to speak to students. But when he introduced Irene, the class was shocked.
It's still hard for me to sit here and look at you and, yeah, she's HIV positive, because you don't look it. I mean, I don't know what I expected to see, but I don't know, you don't look like you'd be HIV positive.
It's good that you came out so we can all see that you're just a normal person and that you're just like us, so.
You would be surprised. I am just like you. And I look just like somebody said that to me. They said, you know, you look like everybody's sister. Well, yeah, and everybody's sister can get it.
The students ask Irene how she feels about the man she contracted the virus from.
The person I contracted this from died from it. I loved him very, very much. He was a wonderful person, a courageous, loving, caring man.
And it is because of his death and her own uncertain future that Irene Snow speaks so openly to these teenagers.
You have to protect yourself. This is not a joke. This is really serious. People die. This is really nasty. This is really ugly. And this is really painful. And once they're dead, they never come back. You can never speak to them again. You can never hear them again. And you can never feel them again. And that is what dying is all about. And that is what you need to protect yourself from.
Many are not as accepting of someone with HIV or AIDS as the teenagers we met tonight. Tomorrow night, Kim Smith talks about people's attitudes as we continue our special assignment, Women of Courage Living with HIV. Cindy?
I look forward to that. Thank you, Diane.
Diane Atwood is here in the studio with us tonight.
And she has a guest on Alive and Well. We'll let you make the introductions.
Thank you. I've got Sandy Titus sitting next to me. She coordinates support services at the AIDS Project in Portland. Sandy, thank you for being here. You see men and women with HIV and AIDS. I'm very curious, is there any difference in what women need for services?
Oh, definitely, Diane. I think one thing, all the information we have has come from research and investigation and exploration of the disease in men. And women are out there really pioneering, teaching physicians and healthcare providers about their symptoms and about the disease.
It's sort of a real partnership there.
Yes,
if the patients
yes.
are coming in. And,
yes.
I've had a chance to talk to several women with HIV and AIDS in the last month, and I've heard some stories that are a little scary. Women who themselves suspect that they might be infected, who go to their doctors, their family care physicians, and have been told, well, no, I think that you've got PMS, I think you're probably depressed, you're not high risk. Do you hear those stories too?
Oh, yes, over and over again, almost to a one. I think there are several problems going. One is just empowerment. I don't know historically if women have been second-class citizens or just haven't been listened to, but that's the norm for the women in Maine, to really be begging for help and being turned away or getting help that isn't really help.
One of the reasons that the women have told me that they wanted to be involved in being open and appearing on television is that it gives them a sense of empowerment. You've had an opportunity to speak to a couple of women who we have already featured. What has their feeling been once they've seen themselves up there, just opening themselves up to the community like this?
Well, I did meet in a support group with them today, and they were feeling really good. Seeing yourself is always hard. But
and especially when you
yes.
put yourself out like that.
Yes, and they did. They have taken huge risks, I want to tell you, and I also want to thank you for doing this series. It's been very important in the community.
I would like to give you an opportunity to put your 2 cents worth in. What is it that we in the community need to be aware of in terms of women in HIV and AIDS?
Well, I think just this program, all the information that you can get, any teaching of yourself, being open to hearing, what's really going on. The other big thing for women that I think is different than men is that women are nurturers, caregivers, caretakers.